Hello everybody. Lenny, Danny and the mice are super excited today because at long last they're going to see one of their friends. And that friend is Georgie, my tortoise. Can you guess where he is? Well, Georgie has been asleep for a very long time. More than one night, 2 nights, 3 nights, even more than that. He's been asleep for 77 nights. Isn't that a long time? Well, some animals, like tortoises, but not all tortoises, go to sleep in the winter. And squirrels, they sometimes sleep for a few days, and hedgehogs sleep, and bears sleep too. And that is called hibernation. That's a good word, isn't it? Hibernation, which means they have a good long sleep in the winter. Now my Georgie, he's not in the wild, he's my pet, and he goes to sleep in the fridge. And he's in this little fridge here. And there he is. Can you see him? He's in his box. And I can keep an eye on the temperatures there, just to make sure that it's just the right temperature so he stays fast asleep. Now some people put their tortoises in the box in the garage to sleep, but mine goes in the fridge. So I'm going to take off the lid because he's been there long enough now, and it's time for him to wake up. Now in the wild, tortoises dig down deep, deep, deep. Let's move him over here so I can shut the fridge door. And in fact, I'll go out in the garden and I'll show you what they do. So, and we'll use my sand pit. Oh, look at that. Isn't it a lovely day today? It's all nice and dry. We'll have to go for a walk later. So let's have a look. Here's my little tortoise down here. It's only a pretend one. And in the wild, the tortoise, in the winter time, when it gets cold, they will go dig, 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 dig until they totally disappear. And that's where they stay when the weather is really, really cold. And then in the springtime, when it gets warm again, they will slowly, slowly, slowly start coming up, 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 because the weather is warm. And then they can find all the lovely weeds to eat, maybe like dandelions or pansies or sow thistle, all yummy weeds like that to help them grow big and strong again. Right, let's go back indoors and we'll see what Georgie's up to, see if he's moved at all. I don't know if he will yet because it'll take him quite a while to warm up. Let's have a look, shall we? See what he's doing. Do you think he's moved? I don't think so yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave him there to slowly, slowly warm up. And then when he's properly warm, I will show you what I'm going to do next. Now that George has warmed up nicely, we've popped him in a little tub with some lovely warm water in, which just gives him a chance to warm up even more. And if he wants to, he can have a little drink. Can you see him down there? I think Danny and Lenny would like to get in with him, don't you? The mice aren't so keen though. They're quite happy to stay nice and dry. But there's Georgie, quite happily in the water, just moving round a little bit. If the water cools down a bit too much, I'll put some more warm water in for him so he doesn't get cold. And then I'll dry him off and I'll put him in his tortoise table and give him some yummy weeds and turn on his nice warm basking light, which again will keep him nice and warm. I think he's doing quite well actually. He's being quite a slow tortoise at the moment. But that's because he's been asleep for a very long time, hasn't he? Okay, next time you'll see him, he'll be in his tortoise table. And here he is in his tortoise table, having a little look around to see what he can find. We've been out in the garden and found some weeds. Just about to wash those and give them to him. Now he's having a look over where his water is. Not sure what he thinks of it all really. But he's quite happy clambering around, isn't he? Right, I'll go and find the weeds and see if he'll start munching on them, shall I? Can you see where George is trying to dig himself into? That's a pot full of sphagnum moss. That's somewhere which is quite humid, which is what is really good for tortoises. He's trying to bury himself in there. He still hasn't anything to eat yet though. He's got some lovely weeds there. He's got some campanula and some pansies, polka dot plant and some bittercress that we found in the garden just now. But obviously he's too busy exploring because he's been asleep for such a long time, and we've changed everything around and made it all nice and new and clean for him. So he's got to find out what's what, doesn't he? There he goes. He's having a good munch on that, isn't he? That little weed is called dead nettle. It's a funny name, isn't it? It's got some pretty pink flowers on it, but can you see George? He's really munching into those leaves, isn't he? Oh, that's his first food after such a long time. Really, he must be very hungry, mustn't he? I think I would be really hungry if I'd been asleep that long too. Well, we're back inside now, and wasn't it good to see George eating his food? He really munched well, didn't he? So, are we ready? What's in the box? What's in the box? Is it a rabbit or is it a fox? If you're quiet, you will see a little pink nose looking at me. They're really quite friendly and ever so nice, for here in the box are 3 little mice, and they're really pleased to see you, saying, "Hi everybody, it's so good to see you." Okay, I think today our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rhyme should be saying thank you for our pets. I expect some of you have got a dog, or maybe a cat, or a rabbit, or a guinea pig. My pet, as you know, is a tortoise. So we'll say thank you for our pets, amen, today. So if you're ready with your hands, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, thank you God that I'm alive. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, thank you for our pets, amen. Hooray! Well, today we have a story about a tortoise, because we were finding out about my tortoise. And today's story is called The Hare and the Tortoise. And let's see what they get up to today, shall we? The hare was always boasting about how fast he could run. Can you run fast? "I'm the fastest animal in the land," he would say. One day the hare asked, "Who will run a race against me?" The other animals were really fed up with the hare's boasting, but no one would accept his challenge for fear of losing. No one, that is, except the tortoise. There he is, munching away. Ha ha ha! The hare laughed out loud. The other animals gasped, and the tortoise just smiled. So preparations for the race began. The fox drew up a map of the route. The race was to take place the following week. And here's the map, so they knew where they had to go. For the next 7 days, the hare showed off, speeding around the meadows, dashing up the hills, knocking animals over and upsetting just about everyone. Whoosh! He was so fast, but he wasn't very nice, was he? And the tortoise just watched from afar as he chewed lazily on the grasses and on the leaves. I wonder what he's thinking. The night before the race, the tortoise went to bed early, smiling happily as the sun went down. "Early to bed, early to rise," he said to himself. Meanwhile, the hare stayed up late partying with his neighbours, the badgers. Look at him, with the badgers just dancing away before the big race, and his poor neighbours saying shh. The noisy antics kept everybody awake. He was a bit selfish, wasn't he? The next day dawned, bright and sunny. The tortoise woke up refreshed and full of energy. He ate a good breakfast, then got ready for the race. Meanwhile, the hare wasn't feeling quite so refreshed. His late night meant he had hardly slept at all, and he felt very, very worn out. He poured himself a large glass of carrot juice and yawned loudly. Ooh! Just like that. Out in the meadow, the animals were gathering for the race. There were stalls selling cakes and sandwiches, and balloons and buntings had been put up, tied between the trees. It felt very much like a party. Can you see how good it looks there? Such fun. And there's the start for the race. At last it was time for the race to begin. Feeling more like his usual self, the hare took his place at the starting line. Get ready to lose, he said to the tortoise. And the tortoise just smiled. He didn't seem in the least bit worried. Then the fox began the countdown for the race. On your marks, get set. The whistle blew, and they were off. The hare dashed away at full speed around the meadow, then up the hill. He stopped to look back and saw the tortoise plodding along far behind. Can you see? There he is, a long way behind. Grinning happily, the hare danced a little jig on the hilltop. And as he ran down the hill, the hare grabbed some crunchy lettuces from a field, and he stopped for a mid-morning snack. Yummy! I think he's really enjoying those, don't you? The sun was warm, and he decided to have a little nap. After all, he'd had a long, late night, and the tortoise was a long way behind. In the meantime, the tortoise carried on up the hill and over the top. He saw the hare snoozing under a tree and marched bravely past. Look, there's the hare snoring away. And the hare didn't stir a whisker. He was sound asleep. Much later, feeling stiff and cold, the hare woke up with a start. He looked up at the sun and saw how low it was in the sky. It must be almost evening, and he feared the worst. The hare flew around the rest of the route at the top speed. He ran like he'd never ran before. But in the distance, he could hear shouting and clapping, and he could just make out the tortoise nearing the finish line. Can you see? Look, there's the little tortoise far in the distance, and there's the finishing line. Who is going to win, do you think? With the finish line in sight and the crowd roaring him on, the tortoise staggered on as fast as he could. A few minutes later, he crossed the finishing line to a big round of applause and people clapping and cheering, and the crowd was shouting his name. And where's the hare? He's still up here on the hill. He's a long way behind. The hare had lost his own challenge. From now on, perhaps he wouldn't be so boastful. Slow and steady wins the race. There we go. So it just goes to show how important it is just to keep going. Doesn't matter if you're not very fast, but just keep going. You'll get there in the end. Right, are we ready for some birthdays? I've got Lenny and I've got my happy birthday hat. Can we see Lenny today? I think we can. We've got lots of birthdays again this week. Goodness me, lots of birthdays in February. Are you ready? The first one is for Isabel. So if you've got your best happy birthday singing voices, we'll get ready. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Isabel. Happy birthday to you. Let's give Isabel a big clap, shall we? Happy birthday, Isabel. We hope you have a lovely day. Now our next person we're going to sing happy birthday to is Rose, because it's her birthday this week. Are we ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rose. Happy birthday to you. Let's give Rose a big clap, shall we? I hope you have a lovely day as well, Rose. I hope you have lots and lots of fun. Next one is Jessica. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jessica. Happy birthday to you. Let's give Jessica a big clap as well. Happy birthday, Jessica. I hope you have a really lovely day. And the last person today is Jasper. It's his birthday today. Or not today, but in a few days' time, in fact. Are we ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jasper. Happy birthday to you. Oh, let's give Jasper a big clap. Happy birthday, Jasper. We hope you have a really good day too. Right, shall we see what's in my song bag and see if you've got anything that we could sing a song about? Let's have a good rummage, shall we? Have a good feel and see what I can find today. Can you see? I have a little tortoise. Now then, I've had to make up a song about a tortoise because I didn't know any songs about a tortoise. So we're going to use our fingers and we're going to put up 5, and each finger is going to be a dandelion because tortoises quite like dandelions. 5 little dandelions growing in the grass. 5 little dandelions growing in the grass. Along came a tortoise who went munch, munch, munch. Now there's 4 little dandelions growing in the grass. 4 little dandelions growing in the grass. Along came a tortoise who went munch, munch, munch. Now there's 3 little dandelions growing in the grass. 3 little dandelions growing in the grass. And along came a tortoise and went munch, munch, munch. Now there's 2 little dandelions growing in the grass. 2 little dandelions growing in the grass. And along came a tortoise who went munch, munch, munch. Now there's 1 little dandelion growing in the grass. 1 little dandelion growing in the grass. And along came a tortoise who went munch, munch, munch. Now there's no little dandelions growing in the grass. What a greedy tortoise. Goodness me. Shall we see what else is in my song bag? Have a feel, shall we? Oh, I have a cat today. So let's do Hey Diddle Diddle, the cat and the fiddle. Ready? Hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon. The little dog laughed to see such fun, and the dish ran away with the spoon. Hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon. The little dog laughed to see such fun, and the dish ran away with the spoon. Good singing, everybody. Let's see if there's anything else, shall we? A little rummage in here. Sausages. Who loves sausages? I do. I love to have sausages for tea. Are we ready? Let's do 10 fat sausages. So this time we need 2 hands. Are you ready? 10 fat sausages sizzling in the pan. One went and the other went bang. How many have we got now? 8. That's right. 8 fat sausages sizzling in the pan. One went and the other went bang. We've got 6. 6 fat sausages sizzling in a pan. One went and the other went bang. 4 fat sausages sizzling in a pan. One went and one went bang. 2 fat sausages sizzling in a pan. One went and one went bang. No fat sausages sizzling in a pan. None went and none went bang. Well done, everybody. That was super counting. Are we ready for Great Big God? Let's put Lenny there so we don't stand on him. And the sausages out of the way. And we'll have a good go at Great Big God. Ready? Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and he holds us in his hands. He is higher than a skyscraper, and he's deeper than a submarine. He is wider than the universe and beyond my wildest dreams. And he's known me and he's loved me since before the world began. How wonderful to be a part of God's amazing plan. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and he holds us in his hands. Well done, everybody. Let's find Lenny and we'll say cheerio, shall we? Little life, hear my call. Little life, stand up tall. Little life, turn around. Little life, touch the ground. Little life, touch your head. Little life, stand on one leg. Good standing, everybody. Little life, give a big sigh. Ah, 'cause now it's time to say bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody. We hope you have a really wonderful time, and we'll see you all again very soon.